Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown, and today we are going to do a review of Dubious. Or are we?
Are we?
No, wait. I guess we
are.
will.
Yeah.
We are.
They'll see the time code and be like, yeah, it is longer than 10 seconds. They're probably going to review the
Oh,
game.
yeah.
Thanks for watching. Fooled you.
So Dubious is from Arcane Wonders. It plays 3 to 6 players and about 30 minutes, which is pretty accurate. You can play a longer version if you want to play several consecutive rounds.
Higher, 6 people, maybe a little longer.
Maybe a little. Maybe a little. And then Spencer
Depends how
always
creative
adds
you're getting, too.
5 more minutes
Yes.
every game.
Yes. Well, he's a writer.
He is a
When he
writer.
goes to answer his question, you have a whole dissertation.
He actually was like slamming them down pretty quick.
He was.
But
We
they
were
weren't
on you
good.
mostly.
They weren't good clues.
They weren't good.
not.
Nobody got any of it right.
He's like,
yeah.
so you'd like my character's backstory, would you?
But yeah, so in this game, basically what is going to happen is everybody is going to be dealt occupation cards, 2 occupation cards, and 2 secret cards. And on our little player board, we're going to, on our sheet of paper here, we're going to pick one that we are using, and then we're picking one that we're not using. The one we're not using is just information, so we know the other players aren't going to be in play. And then there's the secret. And same thing. You're going to have a secret, and we're going to have these awesome player rates here, which just have them numerically written down, so they're numbered, and you know what all the secrets are and what all the occupations are that are potentially in play. And then we're going to get a series of questions. You're going to have 5 questions. There's going to be 2 questions about your appearance, and then the other 3 are just sort of rando questions. And you can shuffle in the time period specific questions that you might get. You're not guaranteed to get them, but you might get them. You go. There's 3 different eras you can play. You can play fantasy, you can play Victorian age, or you can play modern era. And so the secrets and the occupations sort of apply appropriately. And then, the questions though, they can apply to anything, right? Like, what did you order for dinner? That goes for all the eras. No
Spoiler
problem.
alert, people in the Victoria age, they ate too.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. So what's going to happen is, for example, what did you eat for dinner? Everybody's going to write down on their sheet what their character ate for dinner. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to go around and in the first person, as we are that character, read out
everybody
what we ate for dinner. And you're going to go through this. You're going to do all 5 questions. And then at the end, we'll recap, basically go through we'll ask one person all 5 questions. And then you can make notes. There's little columns here. And you can just write down the number of what you think they had. Whether, I think he might have been a bard, so I'm going to write a 2. Was way off. That was a necromancer. Whoops. So we all write down, then we're going to write our guesses. And then this is where the game really kind of gets fun too, is that you get a point for everybody that guesses your occupation and your secret. But if everybody guesses your occupation and your secret, you get nothing. And then other players, everybody's going to get points for everyone that they guess correctly. You're going to get points multiple ways.
Yep.
And it's really fun. And then a lot of games like this, I'm sure Dan's going to bring it up, but one of the best parts is sort of the debrief afterwards, where you go through them and explain why you wrote all the things that you wrote. And then everybody can tell you how bad you are at giving
why that was a bad idea.
Yes. But that is essentially Dubious. This game, the rule book is only a few pages. It's very straightforward. Basically, the rules are also inside the player screen. And then you've got clips so that you can, if you want, you can clip all the occupations and secrets right here.
I like these mine to cover.
And it's very straightforward. It's very easy to learn. It's sort of like social deduction, but not really. It's really just deduction.
Sure.
But anyways, let's give our thoughts on Dubious, starting with Spencer.
I knew it was going to be me.
Did you? Because he fooled you. It's me.
How dubious.
Yeah.
I guessed wrong.
And actually,
I'm still me. What's going on? I'm losing.
freaking out.
I always like these kinds of games where you are trying to tell a story, you're coming up with a character, things like that. I am a writer, so I like doing that kind of thing as well. I enjoyed it, even though I apparently gave bad clues. I enjoyed coming up with what I was doing. Like, I had a dragon rider, and so for the meal I said I would have lamb and a whole bunch of water and ale. And so, yeah, just coming up with all these little things. Try to figure out these guys, though. I got every one of their jobs no, they're secrets. Man, I was not very good at getting your jobs, but it doesn't mean I didn't like it. I actually liked it quite a bit. It was fun. I would probably play this more than once in a round or in a setting.
The sitting.
Yeah, 100%. Bobby.
So when Tim pulled this game out yesterday, I was like,
You were dubious.
at best. I had a ton of fun with this. I can't lie. Like being able to because I play a lot of D&D and stuff like that, and I love to create characters and you kind of give them a backstory or things about them, and your session 0 and you're figuring out what's your inspiration and that kind of stuff. And I like doing that kind of stuff, and then being able to come up with those answers and read them in character is a ton of fun. But then being able to listen to everybody else's answers and trying to pick out what words they use. Okay, well he said dirt, so it probably has to do something with coming back from the dead or something that and just the words that people can use can really set up, or you're trying to lead most people to get what you want them to get, for your answer, oh, mine is possessed by a demon, but I said a word slightly differently that could slightly apply to a demon but really applied to something else that threw Tim off, which let me get the other 2 points from those two guys. And that's just a lot of fun, trying to be creative with your words and your answers that you use. And yeah, this is one that I'm probably going to end up getting because it was a lot of fun. The screens are great. It's got the phases on there, which you don't really need because the game is so super straightforward. And then it's got the scoring on there and whatnot. And you can clip these on the inside, but I like to use mine to cover it because that's just me. But these sheets that you use for breaking everything down are well done also. It's got a nice layout. You can write what you are, which ones you didn't take, so you can, at a brief glance, check to see what's taken, what's not, from your perspective at least. And yeah, it's just done really well for what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make Dan go last because when I played this, I was like, "This is a Dan game." Now we'll see what Dan has to say,
Sure.
but I feel like this is a Dan game. And something while you were talking, how amazing would it be to randomly? We have to play this game. We play the fantasy one, right? Mm-hmm. Then we have to make D&D those characters as D&D characters.
And do a little adventure.
Just do a little
And
adventure.
do a one-shot.
Yeah, do a one-shot.
But you're limited. You have to create what you got.
What you get.
That would be crazy fun.
That would be funny.
Anyways, that just is a testament to how much fun this game is and how it just sparks that creativity. Mm-hmm. I think that that we are hardcore gamers, right? We play a ton of games. We play heavy games. We play party games and everything. But this one, for me, really is a wonderful bridge between playing with heavy gamers, but then also you could play this with people that are really relatively new to board games, and they can sit down and I think feel pretty comfortable and have a good time. It might be a little group dependent if somebody's like, I don't like to write anything. Well,
right.
Then, okay, fine.
Whatever.
I don't know how to write.
Yeah, right. I wasn't educated well. I don't have hands. Can't write.
Wow, let's just throw them under the bus. Their life's not hard enough as it is.
Yeah, right. It's terrible. No, but this game was really good. I love everything about it. Everything about it was great. Everything Bob
Even
said.
The art on the cards is super cute.
The art on the cards
that's good.
super fun. It's very stylized, but it conveys the vibe. This was super.
Yeah.
This was really good. Really, really good. I would love to see more questions. I almost want more questions.
More questions.
I definitely want more
blank cards,
questions.
you can write your own questions.
Yeah, that's true too.
Absolutely.
There's so many things you could do with this game.
Yeah, they come out new settings and stuff like
yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be very easy to do.
Yeah, just print these.
Just really great.
cards.
Really great.
And I do like how what they have on here, the occupations and secrets. I had a dragon rider, and over here is he turned his brother into a sheep. So I'm like,
You ate your brother.
They always lamb. I'm like, so they have ways for you to try to fool people built in.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you were really good at fooling everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, you were so good at fooling people.
Okay, Dan.
Oh, you're done already?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to step on anything you might
I mean,
say.
like they said, the game's okay. It's good. At being awesome. No, I mean, listen.
Dubious,
this
man.
isn't gonna be in my top 3 games of all time or anything like that, right? I'm sorry,
number
it's just
4.
not. But it's awesome. I like Tim said, I love these kind of games. Basically, what Dubious does is it takes one of my favorite parts of Sheriff of Nottingham and just says that's the game, right? Sheriff of Nottingham, you don't have to, but one of my favorite things to do is come up with a character, and then you just play as that character the whole time, and you're just like, oh, please, sir, I just have 3 apples. Can you let me in with my apples? It's just, I don't believe you have apples. That's the funnest part of that game. It's not the rules at all, and it's awesome. And this is just oh, we wanted to do that. You create a character, you talk in character, and you're just trying to do that. Now, I will say, I will probably never win this game because I find the
Sounds good to me.
funnest part of the game is trying to just make like not puns, but just like fit in those double meanings and
Yes.
stuff like that. You know, like if I'm someone who came back from the dead, I might be like, "Oh, you gravely misunderstand the situation," or something like
Yes.
that, right? Like saying stuff like that's just hilarious to me, and so I will
It's very
always
funny.
do it.
Yeah.
even though they'll be like, "Oh, okay, he's great,"
Yeah.
Right.
like even though they'll figure
Oh,
out.
there
you
were
saw what I
so
did,
many.
though.
I
You
was
saw what
so
I did.
tempted to do that.
Yeah, but you get it though, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
And that's what I do with a lot of mine. You know, like I don't know. That's really fun, and I do think that doing like a one-shot D&D thing with this, that would be awesome.
You're welcome.
Like and having like the Dubious Brigade or something. You
Yeah.
know, like some kind of name like that. I think that's really fun. But yeah, I don't know if there's too much really to say about the game, especially after you three have already talked. This is a really fun game. I would love to play this with my family. This is awesome. Yeah. So check out, if anything sounds interesting, check out Dubious. I know we're not like the first people ever to review
No,
this
no, no,
game.
yeah.
But,
Been around a little bit.
Yeah. You might have heard of it by now, but if you've been on the fence or anything like that, it's definitely worth picking up. If you just like that pure kind of like social, just like talking fun. I really like games that involve acting. And even though this is a very base form of that, I love that kind of stuff. I've had my eye on a game called Fiasco for a long time. I've always wanted to play it. I really, really like stuff like that. And so to have kind of like a entrance to that kind of stuff where it's just like, hey, here you go, I'm giving you a job and a kind of a backstory. You just in 5 seconds you make a character out of it, and then you just answer in character about what you're almost creating your backstory on the spot. You know, they're just saying, what did you eat for dinner? Then you go, what would I eat for dinner? Right?
Yeah,
and
I like you have to get
you're
into their
writing
head.
your character as you're being asked the questions, and it plays out really well, really fun. And especially with only 4 players, really fast. Like Spencer said, this is kind of like what I call a just one kind of game, where like it even says in the rulebook you can play multiple games and add your scores together. That's just a thing you can do with all games, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely a game that I would like play multiple times in a row if I was sitting down to play.
Yeah,
it's just so
re-rack and,
fast.
like, let's go.
And also it's just like, I kind of want to be a different character now, you
Yeah.
know. And like you guys said, I could see there being like a Board Game Geek, forum that just has like fan-made things you can print out of like different stars stuff, and obviously the company can make some as
Yeah.
well. But like this is just such an easy game to add on
You get a
to.
generic thing of cards and just do like write numbers 1 through 14 on there, and then once you've got a secrets list, you just use that same deck of 1 through 14s and 1 through 14s, deal them out, and you're like, okay, my occupation is number 4, that's this. My secret is number 11, okay, and that's what I am.
Right? Yeah.
Instead of having like a separate card for each one.
Yeah, no, this game's fantastic. It's
Yeah,
super fun. I just love this. This is one of those games though too, where you play like when we played it for the first time. I was playing with people I didn't know,
Oh yeah.
and it was like I'm getting to know these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like how they were going, and it was really fun. Yeah, everything everybody else said, really good. We should probably give this a rating though. What do you think?
It's good. Yeah, probably.
Good deal.
But before we do that, Dan, how do we give games ratings here?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Tim, because some people, like yourself, might not fully understand our
true.
ratings scale. So if you're new here, though, we at Board Game Rundown do rate games on a scale of 1 to 10, and we do use 0.5s because it makes it slightly more variable. And then we're going to average all those together. So there's just one score on stuff like Board Game Geek, Discord. If someone randomly walks up to me on the street and says, what did you give Dubious? Well, here's what I gave it, but also here's what Board Game Rundown gave it as a whole, because sometimes the overall umbrella company is a more accurate score than one person's slightly more biased rating.
I think you're the radio announcer.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
reached
Stretching your time.
He's stretching her time.
We got him.
Nailed it.
All right, Bobby.
Yeah.
What do you give Dubious?
I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna go with the 8.5. Like,
Yeah.
it's a game I want it in my collection. I'm gonna reach for it to play it. I really enjoyed it. It's 8.5.
Spencer.
I'm giving this one a 9. I think I might actually try to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8.5 for me. 100%. It's really super good.
Those are the exact two numbers I was going back and forth between. With my limited plays right now, I'm going to bump it up to a 9. It's that fun. We'll see if it feels repetitive over time once you've seen the same jobs over and over, which
again.
is why I'm hoping they add more.
But
sure.
new questions as well, and you can always
course.
think of new answers.
Of course, yeah. I'm not saying it will. If it does, maybe it will drop down slightly, but for now, a 9.
I almost gave it a 9.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I was really, really torn between. But yeah,
It's because 9's the right answer.
Actually, like 8.7.
means I'm a
or something.
druid.
It's gonna be the right
8.8.
number.
8.8.
Okay, nice.
That's a
Nice.
pretty good score.
8.8, solid. Man, holy crap, this game's super good. Check it out.
Yeah.
Arcane Wonders. They did send us this copy
Nice.
for review.
I've had my eye on it for a long time. I'm really glad
Now
I
you
finally
know.
got to try it out. Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
know. And now you know as well.
Knowing is half the battle.
That's right. So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim, and I am a board game channel host with a dark secret.
Ooh. I've been Bob, and I was possessed by a demon.
I'm Spencer, and I'm an author who can't put down my sword.
I'm Dan, and I am a board game player who is sitting at a table.
Boring.
I don't believe
bored.
it.
Back from
He's
the
lying. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
And you can say the title's only 3 words.